is Monday. Good morning with 5 minutes with Frankie. An oracle, warnings, wrathfulness, vengeance, jealousy. Let's talk about that. That's with me. Yeah, good morning, beautiful people. It is Monday, and some teachers report today, or is it everybody?
It's just a new teacher.
Oh, just the new teachers of Canaan. And then tomorrow, all school breaks loose, and all the teachers and staff. Woohoo!
Awesome.
My job just got a little harder. Anyway, oracles, jealousy, vengeance, wrath. Now, we know that Jonah, that famous book Jonah, who was swallowed by a great fish, he was going to Nineveh. And remember, he ran away, he got on a boat. The boat was going to sink because he wasn't listening to God. He was asleep in the bottom of the boat. They woke him up. He said, "It was me, throw me overboard." They threw him overboard. He got swallowed by a great fish. He was in the belly of the fish for 3 days. He came out of the fish. He went to Nineveh. He preached for 3 days. He went on top of the mountain, thought that God was going to destroy it, and they repented, and he didn't destroy it, and Jonah got mad. There's the whole book of Jonah. So Nineveh repented, and God did not destroy them, and they were great for 100 years. But here comes another king who doesn't know God and who really doesn't care, and he does what he wants, and he turns the people and their hearts to idols and worshiping other gods and sacrifice of children, and it was even worse than before. And here's Nahum coming in and saying, look, you turned before and run to the stronghold because God's coming with wrath and vengeance because he's a jealous God. And I think we forget that sometimes, that God is wrathful, vengeance. He's jealous for us. He doesn't want anybody else except us. And so here's Nahum going back to Nineveh and saying, look, you got to turn. He relented last time. Please turn. And guess what they didn't do? They didn't turn. And God destroyed Nineveh. Now, this was the oracle or the prophecy before it got destroyed. So this is a good warning for us too, as we read Nahum. So it begins like this. The oracle of Nineveh, the book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. A jealous and avenging God is the Lord. The Lord is avenging and wrathful. The Lord takes vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserves wrath for his enemies. Wow, that doesn't really preach really well these days. God is a wrathful God. If you are his enemy, he is wrathful. He is vengeance because he's holy, and holiness has to have judgment. It has to get rid of sin. And so, to get rid of that sin from us, so God's not our enemy, he produced Jesus. And Jesus took the wrath and the vengeance and everything on him at the cross. Just think of that. He was crushed. He was literally the full wrath of God put on Jesus. I mean, the full wrath came out in Nineveh and destroyed the whole thing, or Sodom, or Gomorrah, or Babylon, or Egypt. The people, the nations, and the people that turned from God. He even did that to Jerusalem, and Samaria, and Israel. But now, we can avert the wrath of God by Jesus. And Nahum points to Jesus as a stronghold, and we're going to talk about that this week. It's a really cool book. 3 chapters. I think you should just go read it. But it is really cool because we have to understand that God is still the God of the Old Testament. He's still wrathful against sin and against his enemies and against his adversaries. That's why we need Jesus. We turn his wrath away because Jesus took that. And so that's why we need Jesus. So I encourage you today, do you want the wrathful vengeance and righteous anger of God? Or Do you want Jesus? I'd rather pick Jesus. I love you. Jesus loves you too. You have a great Monday. Hasta la vista, baby.